Yeah. Hi there, welcome to my views and news. Can you hear me, viewers? Thank you for responding with yes. A viewer said, Sajid, isn't it too late in Pakistan where you are based? Uh, yeah, it's too late here. It's around 1 a.m. here, but I think when there is an important development, uh, then I should keep my viewers updated. I mean, you people watch me. That's my responsibility. That if I think something big is happening, so I should update my viewers. No matter what the time is, I'm here to share my views, my analysis with you. Very important developments of the last 72 hours. It seems as if a warlike situation has emerged in Ethiopia. I have three important developments for you, which I want to share a little later in this video, in this live chat. Let me welcome the participants first. Sam, yes, first one, Giggle Gator. Interesting name, Giggle Gator. Adil Muhammad joined to welcome Adil. Engesom Photo joined after some time. How are you doing, Engesom Photo? Alex Bizabi. Yeah, I remember this name, but after some time, Alex joined. Becca here, Asfau Esgedom joined too. Dane Akobe here. Dane says, Sajid, you came late. Well, to be honest, I did not want to host a live chat tonight because I all day I've been busy with Fano's activities. But right now, I think just a few minutes ago, I decided that I should host a live chat. Why? Because I think something big is unfolding in Ethiopia. That is why I was going to sleep. By the way, I thought that I must share my analysis, my views with you because there seems to be something big happening. Adil Muhammad caught me first time online. Ethiopian flavor taste join too. Guracha Bati says, Sajid, stop hyping Fano's gains. It's not as big as you think it is. Well, it's bigger than this. Just wait a few minutes. I'll explain what their plans are. Will they be able to achieve? I don't want to predict, but I want to share with you what their real plan is, which I think now has been made public. So it's more than what you're seeing. It just tip of the iceberg, which you are seeing in Wolo. Sirach Desalegn, Sirach Delalegan joined. Mekonnen Said A. Hassan Muhammad, Koshin Grane, Book, B double O K, Book is writing ho ho ho. We have Sirach. Sirach, so do you think the PM Russia visit according to face value or to get weapons to continue? Oh, the visit is about participation in atomic energy forum. Russia has agreed to build a nuclear power plant in Ethiopia. The visit is about sharing of nuclear use of nuclear energy between Russia and US. But yes, weapon deals could be at the table too. Izzuddin Ibn Islam joined to says, is TPLF included? Yes, important question. Lul Sagat Sigai here. Welcome, Lul Sagat. Let me start, viewers. I think we need to keep the live chat brief as it's too late here, 1 a.m., and you people might also be feeling sleepy if you are in Ethiopia, in the Horn of Africa. Thank you, Rufail. Rufail joined too. Welcome, Rufail. Rufail is a member too. Special welcome, Rufail. Membership link is given on the channel. You can be a member by clicking the link given. Jumble joined too after a long time. Welcome, Jumble. My brother Jumble is from Gondar. Am I right, Jumble? Freedom is not free. Join too. I am seeing several old viewers who are back tonight. McConnell says, did you hear what General Tafra said? Yes, I heard. I heard what Ababa Tadase said, what General Tafra said, and what is happening on Tigray Afar border. That is why I chose to host a live chat. If I work, Abraham join. Let's start, viewers. Annabelle joined. Welcome, Annabelle. Viewers, I want to share 3 developments from today which are pointing towards something big which is unfolding in Ethiopia. Jambal is confirming he's from Gondar. That is why I read the names of all the viewers, because sometimes they send me emails too, we exchange views, and I remember them, and we then exchange our views and our opinions on different topics. Hele Abebe joined too. So, 3 developments from today. Firstly, Tafra Mahmoud's interview. Secondly, what Ababa Tadase has said today. Thirdly, what is happening in Abala, right on Tigray far border. Which new forces have been deployed there? What is cooking up? Pajit Microwave joined as well. Jossi TM. Doju View says, how are you? I'm fine, Doju. Doju, interesting name. Kokeb says, how strong is Fano's unity? Well, at least they're stronger than they were. They're more united than they were in 2023. 2 years have passed. Marcos joined to welcome Marcos. Hassan Kader joined after some time. Michael Zurich here. Michael says, hello, Sadi. Is it true that your girlfriend was Benazir Bhutto? Come on, she's not alive now. We should not attribute such things to that lady. Okay, people saying it's late, Sajid. Okay, let me speak for 10 minutes. FIS join. Let me speak for 10 minutes and hopefully I'll wrap up the live chat in 10 minutes. Mateko Dima join too. And I would request you, please listen to me patiently. Uh, I think we are seeing start of a war in Ethiopia. That's a big statement, by the way. Start of a war. I never used this term, this type of language in the last 2 years. I never called the security situation in Amhara as war. I always said it's a conflict, armed conflict. It's a warlike situation, but it's not a war. That is what I have been consistently saying within the last 2 years. Today, three developments happened pointing towards something big which is coming. Firstly, Tafra spoke 40-minute long interview, and Tafra, former chief of Amhara Special Force, who is now Fano commander, has made it clear that Fano fighters have started phase two of their struggle. Phase two is that now Fano from guerrilla war are launching second phase or the next phase of the war, and that is a conventional war. Conventional war like the one which was launched by Tigray forces in 2020. Tafra made it clear. It means Tafra basically declared war today, that conventional war has begun today. Where? In a Wolo. Why was Wolo chosen, by the way? I'll explain that a little later. But Tafra's interview today is a declaration of conventional war in Ethiopia by Fano fighters against the Ethiopian military, firstly. Secondly, Tafra, is a very hardcore critic of TPLF. During the war, Tigray war, Tafra developed some differences with ENDF generals. Tafra has been very hostile towards TPLF, towards Tigray leaders, but his tone has changed. In his interview today, he said that Fano won't allow Abiy to invade Tigray and Eritrea. Why? He explained the reason. He said, if today Abiy destroys Eritrea, tomorrow it will destroy Tigray, and the next day it will destroy Fano. That is why all will have to unite. If Abiy wages war on Eritrea, on Tigray, Fano will hit from the back. Fano won't let Abiy wage war on Eritrea or Tigray. He said Abiy is not in a position to wage war. ENDF's capabilities are not very impressive, but backed by foreigners, Abiy might launch war. If it happens, Fano won't allow that to happen. So Tafra's Fano today clearly stood with Eritrea and TPL. which internal players have formed an alliance. I've been telling you, by the way, in videos that Ola, Fano, and TPL, they're forming a joint one command and control center. I did a video a few days ago, a live chat, in fact. And in that live chat, I shared with you exclusive information about what PP leaders briefed government officials at a meeting. In that live chat, I briefed you in detail, if you remember. Tafra said that he cannot name the groups which are part of this alliance, but he asked everyone to join. Then he talked. Then he talked about. He requested all militias, soldiers to join FAN. So Tafra has declared a war on Ethiopian military today. It start a formal war between Fano and government. Firstly, why did Tafra choose Wolo? Why did Fano choose Wolo? Before that, what did Ababa Tadesse say today? There is so much pressure on the Ethiopian National Defense Force, on the Ethiopian government, that Ababa Tadesse just an hour ago issued a statement through Fana TV, through other, welcome Gaitane, through other state television channels. Ababa Tadesse, Deputy Chief of Staff, issued a statement. By the way, Ababa Tadesse has been holding meetings in the Amhara region. Just this morning, Ethiopian press news agency shared pictures showing Ababa Tadesse holding a meeting in Kambolcha. And this week he met with government officials in Debre Birhan too. He's been urging regional officials to take over security matters so that ENDF could withdraw from the Amhara region. So he has been working to make ENDF withdraw from the Amhara region, and now he is explaining what is happening in Wolo. I mean, are these ENDF channels really in touch with what is happening on the ground? Do they really have any? Do they really have intelligence about what Fano's plans are? Do they have really any information about what TPL, Fano, RT are cooking up? So, Ababa Tadas has said that nothing is happening. Eastern Command is fighting the extremist forces in Wolo, and extremist forces will soon be eradicated. Everything is under control. If everything is under control, why was there need for Ababa Tadase to issue a statement through Fana TV, through the TV channels? Everything is not under control. Two developments. Third development is from Tegarai Afar border. Exclusive information. A friend of mine entered Tegarai today from the Afar region. He entered Tegarai from Afar through Abala. Abala is right on Tegarai Afar border. I contacted him and he said, Sajid, interestingly, it's not the first time that the man passed through Abala. He said, Sajid, today I saw new deployment of the Ethiopian National Defense Force in Abala. I saw over a dozen ENDF trucks and other military vehicles deployed near Abala. TPF, Tegarai Peace Force fighters have also been deployed there. We know they've been there. Abala and other areas are being used in a far region by Tegarai fighters as their basis. According to this friend of mine, new deployment of ENDF and TPF is happening around Abala. Why? To make a move into Tegarai? I don't know. Now, if you combine the three developments, new deployment of ENDF in Abala, Fano's change of gear to start conventional war, Ababa Tradas's lame defense, doesn't it show that we are seeing the start of a war in Ethiopia? Yes, that is how I see the situation in the Amhara region. Fano fighters have started conventional war today, which is very risky, by the way, because when Tigray fighters started conventional war, they became vulnerable. Suddenly, they became vulnerable, and drones destroyed conventional units of Tigray military. Fano groups managed to survive in the last 2 years because they learned from Fano's mistakes and they did not launch conventional war. They launched guerrilla war in Amhara region. They survived. Now they have changed the gear. They've started conventional war, and soon you will see drones in operation. You'll see Ethiopian Air Force in operation. I showed you a clip a few hours ago showing Ethiopian Air Force bombers flying over. Uh, Thank you, Izzadeen, for buying the super chat sticker. Thanks a lot. So I showed you a clip of Ethiopian military planes flying over Wolo. Interestingly, 3 days have passed since Wolo Fano's new offensive, which is declaration of war on ENDF. Not a single drone strike has been conducted by the Ethiopian Air Force. Not a single airstrike has been conducted by the Ethiopian Air Force. Why? I think Ethiopian Air Force, Ethiopian military is waiting for the right time. The strength of this Air Force, this military, is its air power. Fano has no answer to this air power. Fano does not have the type of anti-drone weapons which militaries have. So I think Fano groups are going to be tested, and you will soon see the start of airstrikes and drone strikes against Fano fighters. Now, last point I want to make, and then your questions, comments. Why did Fano choose Wolo? I mean, the this conventional war could have been launched from Gondar, from Gujam, from Shoa. Why did Fano choose Wolo? What's your take? What do you think? Yunus says, do you allow members to participate? Yes, Yunus. I speak for a few minutes, then members participate. Why do you think Wollo has been chosen for the start of this war by Fano? Sammy says, Tigray. Interesting says, Fano choose Wollo because of TPLF. So does it mean that Wollo, Fano, and TPLF are on the same page? Well, majority of viewers say it's because of vicinity to Tigray. FIS is saying it's because of terrain. So majority of viewers is saying that Wollo has been chosen by Fano because it's close to Tigray. I agree. but there are other reasons too. Wolo has been chosen because Wolo is like Tigray. Tigray forces, if you remember, during the war, they took control of North Wolo, South Wolo. They reached Shoa. So very swiftly, they marched towards uh, Shoa. And I think if you start from Western Tigray, suppose Tigray fighters start from Volkayet. Distance from Volkayet to Addis or Volkayet to Oromia is way more than the distance from Vuldia to Oromia or Vuldia to Addis Ababa. Distance matters. Since Tigray forces operated in Wolo, it means that they know the area well, they can help Fano, they can guide Fano, they can support Fano, they know how to counter ENDF here, how to defeat ENDF here. Fano fighters Tigray fighters suffered losses too, but main losses were suffered in Afar region when they entered Afar to cut off Ethiopia-Djibouti road. That was their mistake, which was very costly. So terrain also suits, I think, when it comes to use of drones and airstrikes. I think here advancing forces can protect themselves a little. There is one more point which is important. Ethiopian military was threatening to invade Assam. Indirectly, they were threatening. Ethiopian PM was threatening to march towards Assam. If, and by the way, Tafra today mentioned Afar too, if I'm not wrong. He said Wolo has been chosen, Afar will be involved too. Uh, if Tigray and Fano fighters swiftly move and capture North and South Wollo's main town and somehow enter Shoa, don't you think that ENDF's chances of waging any massive offensive towards Afar, through Afar towards Assab, will be uh, reduced? I mean, ENDF's all supply lines from the Amhara region will be cut off. It will have to enter the Afar region from Oromia. From Oromia, it will have to enter Swai region, Afar, or from Oromia to Afar. It isn't going to be easy. It isn't going to be easy. And then Shoa Fano can also carry out attacks on ENDF supplies towards Afar, towards my region. So it's a very smart move by Eritrea as well. Because preemptively, you can say Eritrea has made a move to stop the large scale movement of the Ethiopian National Defense Force towards Eritrean border. So all parties are part of this plan to choose Wolo. Tigray, Eritrea, and Fano. What about Ola, Oromo Liberation Army? What will Ola do? Will Ola support this movement of Fano backed by Tigray fighters? I think things will be clear in the coming days. So far, no one was expecting, by the way, no one was expecting that this is going to start in Wolo. The Wolo is strategic, and just link some dots. It started in Wolo after uh, government in southern Tigray was dismantled. Southern Tigray is also very strategic. So TPLF and Tigray military, they dismantled southern Tigray government. They pushed TPF into the far region, and then TPLF, Fano, Eritrea met, and they decided to move from Wolo. Now, supply line is clear. Supply line is clear. Makele, Elamata, Wolo, South Wolo, Shoa. The supply line can be sustained by TPLF, Fano, and Eritrea. Started all the way from Adigarat, Zilam, Eritrea, Zilambasa, Adigarat, Makale, Elamata, Wajja, Kobo, Uldia, Dasi, everything under the control. Everything can be controlled by these warring parties. So I think something big started today in Ethiopia. It's not Fano's offensive on ENDF. No, it's something big planned by all the players which have been teaming up to remove Abiy from power. Abiy has been teaming up to weaken them. So they have fired the first shot. Abiy won't sit idle. He knows it's war for survival for him, for his party, and you'll see that he'll hit back. You'll see brutal use of Ethiopian weapons. It's very unfortunate that people are celebrating Mescal Demra tonight. Tomorrow they'll celebrate Mescal, and at this crucial time, a warlike situation has emerged in Ethiopia. I think I spoke too much. Now your questions and comments. Thank you, Bitam. Who is responsible for this? OK says. All the men in power are responsible, not just one player. The ex-Ferengi says, any news from Debre Tabor? They were pushing into Gashina, I think. They had captured Istaish, and then they were pushing into Gashina. Give timeline, A says. I cannot. How can you give a timeline? It's just starting. Jumble says, could there be involvement of TDF fighters in the Wolo region? They'll be involved. They might not be involved directly, but they'll be involved, I think. If we see more fighting in Wolo, if we see large-scale movement of Fano towards South Wolo, Tigray will be involved. You will see that. Abtagam Abraha said, do you think Trump will be happy about this? Yeah, he has another war to end. He likes to end wars. Fano won't withdraw. FIS, Fano does not want to talk to this government. They have one point agenda. They want to dismantle Abi's government. Annabelle says, what about END of bases in Alamata? Are they safe? Yeah, so far safe, but they can be surrounded by Tigray fighters anytime. And they might just uh, flee into a far region from there. Abdi Karim, do you think TDF will join at this time? I think they'll join discreetly. And they have already joined, I think. The two parties could be making joint plans, joint strategies, because both know the terrain very well. Michael says, Sajid, you know Tigray is trying to avert a war. They will not help Fano. Don't make me laugh, Michael. Shafo joined to Shafo. You missed a lot. You'll have to watch the live chat again. Yeah, Shafo, I had to come live. By the way, we are seeing the start of first phase of this struggle by Fano fighters from Wolo. Maybe we could see second development from Umme Hajar, from Western Tigray, from Humera Volkai Sagede. That could happen too. Beetham is asking about alliance between AFPU and AFNF. Well, they're in talks, I think. Their commanders are confirming they're in talks, but no announcement about formation of an alliance. Formal announcement has not been made. Yeah, Simon, Wolo is strategic, no doubt about that. Thank you, Rock of Liberty. Sammy S, do you think they can use anti-drone weapons? Well, to be honest, so many people ask questions about anti-drone guns, which Tigray fighters have been seen in possession of. I don't think these anti-drone guns can be effective against TB2s, against winglongs. I don't think so. They can be effective in exceptional cases if drone is flying very low. It can be spotted with naked eye. These guns have very limited capabilities. But I think Tigray was in the process of buying some other anti-drone weapons, not just these anti-drone guns. Oh, important question by FIS. I don't remember the viewer. He said, why is that all Fano groups are not starting this attack together? Yeah, it's very interesting, by the way. If one Fano group can create a storm, imagine what would happen if all of them start joint attacks. I think they have a plan. They have a plan. Uh, and they have a plan which no one was expecting. ENDF was not expecting this type of operation by Fano in Wolo. And those militaries, those armed groups always win, who keep their plans, their weapons, their strategies a secret. Those who boast about their capabilities, those who disclose their plans, they're not real military planners. Eritrea is known for being a very tight lipped planner of wars and conflicts in the Horn of Africa. Ethiopian military has not been able to ensure confidentiality of its secret information. That is why the Prime Minister of Ethiopia established a command post a few days ago and asked all the intelligence agencies to work together. Jambal says, did Fano coordinate their attack with withdrawal of ENDF, hence their success? Yeah, you're right that ENDF was withdrawing and Fano was preparing to wage full scale war. That just shows how ill informed ENDF is. I mean, the military fighting in Amhara for 2 years. They don't know what Fanos are planning and they start withdrawing. A week ago, they withdrew and you saw. Sajid, don't think Gondar will side with TPL. No, I think all with Sai, all Fano groups will support Tigray fighters. Why? Because Wolo Fano, if you remember, what happened in 2021, which, not 2021, in 2022, yes, in 2022, which Fano groups led the offensive to take southern Tigray back from Tigray fighters? Wolo Fano. Mere Wodajo led Wolo Fano, an Ethiopian National Defense Force, in 2022 launched a joint operation. Tigray fighters had to retreat. Wolo, backed by ENDF, took control of southern Tigray, if you remember. Uh, so Wolo has always been demanding that southern Tigray, that Elamata Quorum are part of Amhara, not part of Tigray. And last year, over a year ago, when ENDF and TDF made a secret deal and backed by ENDF, Tigray fighters entered the southern Tigray, Wolo did not wage war on Tigray fighters. Mere Bodajo was criticized, but he said, no, our enemy is PP. We don't want to be diverted. We want to go, we want to attack PP. We want to go to Addis Ababa. We want to remove Abiy from power. So Wolo accepted Tigray People Liberation Front's takeover of southern Tigray last year. Uh, it means Wolo changed its position about southern Tigray because it wants to remain focused on the removal of PP from power. In Gondar, I don't think that we could see large scale resistance to TPLF. So far, all Fano groups, they are united. They want to just put an end to Abiy's government. How effective are anti-drone jammers acquired by TDF? Which anti-drone jammers? Alim joined. Alim, very late you are tonight. Hassan said, do you think full scale military could break out? Yeah, this is what Tafra is saying, that they have started conventional war. Where does Skandar stand on this campaign? Well, uh, I never imagined that Tafra Mamu would say that we won't let Abi attack Tigray. Tafra was a very staunch critic of TPL, just like Skandar was. Now Tafra is saying we will defend Tigray, we'll defend Eritrea. We won't let Abi attack Tigray and Eritrea. If Abi does that, we'll hit Abi from the back. If Tafra, I think all Fano leaders, all Fano groups, they are on one page on this issue. So for them now, TPLF is acceptable. Alim says, I worry this campaign is anti-Oromo or might be seen as such. By the way, Tafra was very mature in his interview today. Uh, the host asked questions about Northerners, but Tafra did not use any derogatory language against Oromos. He did not call it a war between Northerners and Oromos. He was very careful. He chose his words in a very responsible manner. Musa said, do you think Fano has one goal? Yeah, they have one goal, and that is removal of Abi. What will happen after that? Then there could be divisions. They don't have really any post Abi plan, by the way. I think I should leave now, viewers. 48 minutes have passed. It's around 2 a.m. here. All day today I worked and I kept you updated. I'm very sleepy now. Stay in touch with me. My Gmail is sajid6720000gmail.com. Send me emails. If any information you get and you think it should be aired on My Vision News, do send me an email. Correct me where I'm wrong. Send me an email. Help me improve the coverage of this conflict. Now, when such conflicts start, uh, those who support parties, they start exaggerating the gains of the parties they support. We must ensure that we cover the conflict in a neutral manner. Thank you, Alim, for buying the super chat sticker. We must ensure that the coverage is neutral and objective. You would see lots of exaggeration about Fano's gains, about ENDF's losses, and people would start uh, claiming soon that ENDF is making gains. What we need to do is to find out the truth and share the truth with the people. That is why I need your help. Where you think I'm making a mistake, I'm missing something, do stay in touch with me. Do get in touch with me through my Gmail, sajid6720000. Thank you for tolerating me for around 50 minutes. I'll be back now tomorrow with new pieces of information for you. Thanks for watching. Stay blessed. Bye bye.